All right. Let's go. Pop the visor down. And we're off. So we're heading into a small Ontario, Canada town, and this is the hometown of the LPGA superstar Brooke Henderson. So she's the top Canadian athlete, top Canadian golfer in our history, and has always done well on the LPGA. So this town is called Smith Falls, and that's where she's from. So I'm just going to do a quick ride through here, mainly the downtown, and a couple areas like that. And when we're done, we'll gas up and we'll head out of here. So we're entering Smith Falls, town of Smith Falls, the population 9,500 people. It is super, super rare that a town this small would actually produce a world-class athlete. She's won many championships on the LPGA, including a couple, I forget what they call them, championships games. I want to call them masters, but they're not masters. A few major golf events is what she's done. So we're just gonna head into this town. It's gonna look old to you guys, but there are some new developments, but generally it's an older looking town. So this is a railroad bridge that we're going under. And up at the end here, we'll be doing a left turn. And at the left turn, there's going to be a hospital on the right and a community recreation center, which is huge. It's got an ice rink and maybe a swimming pool. I think I can sneak around before these guys, and I do. So that was lucky. I'm just going to go straight ahead for a little bit, and then at the next set of lights, I'm going to turn right. And this is the downtown area, so I don't think it's booming commercially because most people shop other places, but they've turned it into a cute little touristy town, and you'll see as we swing down in here. So it's actually pretty nice. Here we go. This has all been redone in the past couple of years, so nice wide highways here, or Main Street, and a couple of fast food places to my right. Yeah, so this is the main commercial slash touristy areas here. And they've made it as welcoming as it can be, and also kept some of the historic looking buildings of, I don't know, they have to be 100 years old, but these are what these towns used to look like back in the day. Some of the old buildings have been repopulated with modern buildings. Like if you look at that building on the left, Pizza, that's a famous pizza chain within Ontario. Coming out of Toronto, 967-1111 was the jingle that they had on the radio forever when I was growing up in Toronto, at least high school years. So now they have one here, and nice building anyway that it's in. And we're going to be heading down this way. I think I'm going to go and take a right over this bridge. So this is a waterway here, and It also has a few locks in it as well. So this is part of the Rideau Canal, which is also part of Ottawa. You can take this all the way into Ottawa, but there's many locks along the way. It's surprising how much water there is in a province which is basically in the middle of North America when you look at it. Much of the water around here is a result of the Ice Age and how the glaciers came down through Ontario and carved out the land and basically made the Great Lakes as well. The Rideau Canal, Rideau River heads all the way down into Lake Ontario, which is from here about 150 kilometers southeast, I guess, from here. So now we're entering kind of like the industrial area of Smith Falls. There's a few typical places like McDonald's, dollar stores, KFC. There's a Walmart down here and a gas station as well. So I'm just going to go down there and have a look at it. Might stop off for a drink. It's a super warm day today. It's 31C, which is over 80 Fahrenheit, which for us way up here in Canada, we get hot summers like this. We just don't get very long summers for that long, and then we get into the winter, which it can get super cold. Not great weather for motorcycle riding, but we get into snowmobiles, which is another super fun type of thing. All right, heading down here. I'm going to go down this road as far as some of the car dealerships. So there's a whole string of car dealerships down here, and I found, for what it's worth, I don't know why, but the people down here, and no offense to anyone who's from Smith Falls if you happen to be from here, but they don't sell the cars very cheap. So the cars are about, if you ever wanted to buy or pay the most money possible for a vehicle, come down to this town, and for some reason their prices are higher than normal and higher than any other small town. So based on and things may change, but I've been in looking at cars at this place before, and you know what, if they want to sell you stuff that is more expensive than the norm, then good luck. I get it that they're trying to make some money, and maybe they don't get the same type of throughput as far as people looking to buy stuff, but man, the cars are expensive, particularly used cars where they can set their own price on it. So not very good, and I hate to say it, but I wouldn't recommend shopping in this town for a used car or a new car based on the prices and the interactions that I've had. So I'll qualify that. It might be different for other people, I don't know, but in my experience. So now we're entering kind of like the car dealership area, and obviously looking around, they've got some campers. I don't know what it is about places that sell RVs. They always seem to have a ton of RVs, and are they selling them? I don't know, but most of the lots I go to, they have a whole bunch of them. So you've got Chevy down here, you've got Ford, Nissan, a whole bunch of them really. They're unloading some Fords up here, which is kind of cool. They do have some nice cars in there. I would love to have a 5.0 liter convertible Mustang. I wouldn't mind a Ford Bronco either. They're nice cars. They'd be fun to have, but seems most of my money goes towards collectible cars, Corvettes, the repairs for Corvettes, or what you have to sink into them. So I'm going to turn around in this dealership here, because now we'll be leaving the town, or I'll go through the Hyundai one. And once again, if you're riding motorcycles on here, there's a lot of gravel around the entrances and exits, so just want to be careful on that. So we're in the Hyundai dealership. There's a lot of cars out here. During COVID, most of the car lots were pretty much empty, so it's nice to see them get their stock back, and hopefully there's a nice car. Looks like a Camaro, perhaps. Has to be. All right, let's go back up this way. Oh. So Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Lots of nice cars in there. We're back at the Ford. Across the lots, pre-owned. Then we've got a PV Mart, which is kind of like a farmer's general supply store, so you can get a lot of stuff if you're farming. Nissan, Chevy, Buick, GMC. And up here, let's give it a little bit more acceleration. You've got the trucks and Kia Motors as well. Just up here on my right. So if you're coming up from Toronto or even Kingston, Ontario, this is the way that you'd come into Smith Falls. And there's a Popeyes, which weren't really in this area of the world for that long. You got Starbucks, Bell, Dollarama, Cannabis Store, Harvey's, which is a Canadian hamburger chain, Tim Hortons, Pizza Hut, Swiss Chalet, Subway, Canadian Tire, which is a very unique store which you can buy just about anything, camping gear, auto gear, you name it. Oh my God. This guy's not even paying attention. Slow, slow. I hate that. Okay. And I'm gonna grab myself an iced coffee and I'll be right back out. Pop the visor down again. Oh, hot out today, holy smokes. These are the days you just want to ride in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts until you wipe out. So I'm in neutral right now, just sitting here. I'm going to press the clutch, tap down on first gear. There's a little bit of a bump, and then let's go. Just let the clutch out lightly. Don't hit the boat, and off we go. Not too sure which way this guy is going to go. I'm going to assume right. I kind of made a point there by sneaking in beside that person because they didn't have their indicator lights on, so I was being a bit of an instigator by kind of pulling up beside them because there was no indication whether or not they were going right or left. Kind of knew that they were going right, but would have been nice if they had the indicator on. So yeah, there's a lot of people that don't use their signals or anything like that. You really notice it a lot more when you're out on the motorcycle. People not indicating, people who are driving their cars and motorcycles without having the full 360 situational awareness. So not a big town, but it looks as if the bridge is opening, which means there's not going to be any traffic here. So no traffic movement until the bridge actually closes, which is going to take a few minutes, unfortunately. I could go around the other way, but hopefully this will get moving soon. All right, looks like the bridge is down, so traffic is moving up ahead slowly. So because it's hot out and I'm not getting any air movement through the motorcycle, it's up to 97C right now, and as soon as it hits about 100 or 101, the fan will go on to keep the engine cool. So it rarely goes above 104. So the fan is on right now, and it'll stay that way until we're under 100 again. All right, we're number 2 on the runway, as they say. That reference to number 1 on the runway goes back to the Apollo 11 liftoff from the moon back in 1969. So when they were giving them clearance to leave the moon, I think it was either Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong said, Roger, understood, we're number 1 on the runway. So I often say that on some of the things. So right now, not number 1, but number 2, and we'll be getting an advance left-hand turn lane. So I'll be heading down that way, over a couple bridges that are over the waterways here in Smith Falls, and then a little bit of back road driving to circle around the town, and then we'll be heading out the same way that we came in. So hopefully you guys enjoyed having a look around Smith Falls on July 30th, 2024. So I'm just about to go over these metal bridges here, which are sometimes awkward when you're riding a motorcycle. Anyway, so we just went over that one, no issue. This one is a bridge that doesn't go up and down, so they just have one, and just helps the boats with that are higher up with either a mast, or they're just higher up above the water line to make it through underneath those bridges if they can raise one. You know what I mean? So coming around, we'll be sweeping left here. There's this old Smith Falls Train Museum that you can see on my right. So you can actually go in there and have a look inside of these things, which is actually a really nice little spot. I've been there before. It's a kind of like a blast back in the past, but so nice of them to keep that around. So just giving it a little bit more gas here on the way. Put the visor all the way down, and I'll be doing a right turn up here, and we'll be going by once again the Smith Falls Hospital on my left, and the community center, recreation center up here. So this will complete kind of like a circle around the commercial area of Smith Falls, not really the residential area. If I knew where Brooke Henderson lived, I would have gone there. Maybe I'll find out and come back again. So Smith Falls Memorial Community Center, they should maybe rename that to the Brooke Henderson Community Center. You got the hospital on the left, and these are all like super small hospitals, because these towns, like this town only has 9,500 people in it apparently. So these hospitals will service a place like Smith Falls and all the other tiny little country towns around as well. So not only the local people in Smith Falls use it, but all the smaller towns around here. And there are a few, and I'll go there. There's one that's not too far away from here called Merrickville. Great little country town. I don't know how people survive there. There's, you know, what type of work would they do? Either they're retired or they've got some sort of online business or whatever. I don't know. So, yeah, we'll be heading through this. Again, seems like I got a lot of lights on the way out of here, which, if you've ridden motorcycles, the more you stand still on hot days, the more uncomfortable it is as far as body temperature. So now that I get some airflow going through, it's totally fine. Let's talk a little bit about indicator lights. So there's this little toggle on for my left thumb. You slide it to the left and the indicator will go on for the left. So I've just done that. Unlike cars, they're not self-canceling, so you have to get into the habit of turning your indicators off, and you do that by just pressing in on the switch that you used, and that just turns it off. So it seems a little bit awkward at first, but once you get used to it, it's just second nature. You don't even think about it. When you do your turn, you hit your indicators, and then when you're done your turn, you cancel it. It's not uncommon, though, for people on motorcycles to forget to cancel their indicator lights, and you can... Yeah, it looks like my mic just died there. So anyway, I was talking about the indicator lights, and it's not that uncommon for people on motorcycles not to cancel out their left or right indicator depending on what side they turn. And you'll often see people having this blinking right or left light, and it goes on forever. They don't notice it. So it's just a habit of getting used to pressing the button that you can push either left or right. Once you press it, it cancels it. So just something that happens. So yeah, I just went over that train track. You have to try your best to hit them perpendicular to the track so that you don't get your front tire caught up in the train track. So the more you can line up to hit it perpendicular, the better off you are. So I'm getting ready to disappear out of Smith Falls and head home. I just want to thank everyone once again for sticking around and watching these vlogs. Hopefully you enjoy it. I'm just putting them on as a playlist. My main content is restoring C3 Corvettes. I've got a couple of those on the go. And in the meantime, I like going out and doing the occasional vlogs and just staying up to date on various things. So this one's pretty cool. Brooke Henderson is from Smith Falls. She's a world-renowned athlete, professional golfer on the LPGA. She's also in the Olympics, so definitely wishing her well on that. Thanks again for being here, and we'll catch you right back here at Motorcycology next time.